दयिते
Radhe Jaya Madhava
दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava
दयिते हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
हरे
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Ram 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 Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे
Jaya Jaya Madhava
राधे जय जय माधव दयिते
Radhe
हरी हरी वो
Very good. Thank
हरे
you,
कृष्ण
Prabhu.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी
It was wonderful. That's scary. That's so funny. Touch a little bit. It's good now.
थैंक यू
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our part 2 on Radhastami, Krishna Katha, Radha Katha. So please join together so we can invoke the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. Nam Om Ajnanatirmirandhasam Genanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Denam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitanja Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Pancha Kalpa Taruvescha Kripa Sindhupaevacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna. Oh, nice to see you, Gopal Radhe Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we are beginning our second day discussion on Radha Tattva and about Srimati Radharani. So many years back, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami visited Alachua temple. Around this time, during Radhastami time, and he said something, it stuck with me forever. Even I had a dream about that topic. He said that he went to see Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan. From Mayapur, he went to Vrindavan to see Srila Prabhupada. And when he was near the door, he was listening the conversation between Sachinandan Prabhu and Srila Prabhupada. Sachinandan Prabhu was asking Prabhupada if he can translate the Sandarbhas of Jiva Goswami Pad. And Prabhupada says no, because to translate Jiva Goswami Pad Sandarbha, you need to be more educated on these topics. It will be hard, but I would like you to translate Padma Puran, because Padma Puran gives the details of the festivals that we are observing in ISKCON. And I want the ISKCON devotee, the disciple here, they should be fully aware of those festivals. So I was thinking, this discussion we are discussing about Radharani, during Prabhupada's time, did we discuss? This question may come. Did they have a seminar for 3 days, 5 days like this constant? Now almost many temples doing it. We are doing here. Yes, they did not do like that, but Prabhupada wanted us to do it. And Jayapataka Maharaj personally witnessed that. And then he said when he came back to Mayapur, he got a Padma Puran from somewhere, I don't know, he didn't say where from, and he was trying to read it. And he found a most mystical glorification of Srimati Radharani. So Jayapataka Maharaj says, now I have to give you warning, I'm not trying to promote Radhastami over Ekadashi. What he said, he read the translation that observing Srimati Radharani's appearance day is not even equal to observe 100,000 Ekadashi. Now that doesn't mean, I'm not saying don't follow Ekadashi, just do one Radhastami whole year. No, that's not the point. Point is how important that we must celebrate with full heart. But yes, to give that glorification, how important it is, the Padma Puran did say, according to Jayavata Maharaj, it's more than observing the result that will be produced by observing 100,000 Ekadashi. Wow, that's a lot of Ekadashi. But so we should take advantage of both. We should do Ekadashi at the same time. If we can celebrate Radhastami, that will be wonderful. So we'll discuss also a little bit today and tomorrow how we celebrate. So with you all permission and blessing, I'll begin something Srila Prabhupada says in his time through the lecture. So first of all, I'm welcoming everyone to Radhastami Katha, a festival which is so dear to us. In general, if you go to India or anywhere in the world, Janmashtami is more popular amongst the karmis beside the devotees. But the Radhastami is popular with within the devotees. With the karmis, with the outsider, they are not so much familiar of Radhastami. And if you ask that why, because Radha Tatta Guyam, Vedaha Guyam, means it is very confidential. It is not to be known by non-devotees. That's why it is always kept concealed. Only when somebody comes to Krishna consciousness, then he comes to know about Srimati Radha and his glory. We have to come to understand that God is both great and sweet. As I mentioned a few times before, God is what? Both great and sweet. His greatness, his all majestic aspect will evoke our submission to God, and it is required. When we surrender and we hear his sweet pastimes, then it evokes our affection for the Lord. So question may arise, do we need affection or we need submission? Which one? We need both. But submission has to come and followed by affection. And this is very important. If we only do promote to purify our heart and we are not interested about Radha Krishna's tattva and Krishna's pastimes, then we may not be fully established the artha pravriti. We need more artha pravriti than anartha nivriti. Means artha pravriti means our object of love, Krishna. This has to be focused more than anartha nivriti will automatically take place. We replace the lower enjoyment spirit with the higher taste of Krishna consciousness. So this is very important. So we like to welcome on this beautiful holy festival discussion. We should hear the words of those dear devotees like Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, of Srimati Radharani, whose deep realization can guide us to spiritual understanding that our own present words and thoughts would not be able to reach otherwise. This is very important. Srila Prabhupada even taught us how to please Lord Krishna by taking full shelter of Srimati Radharani. This is a beautiful quote. I remember in Alachua temple, we are reading every day different quote I find. That anyone who comes to, Srila Prabhupada writes, anyone who comes to before Radharani to serve Krishna, oh, she becomes so pleased. Oh, here is a devotee of Krishna. She immediately recommends, Krishna, here is your devotee. He is better than me. Radharani says like this, Prabhupada said. You can look at it in the Vedas. Very fascinating how Prabhupada saw this. This is Radharani, Prabhupada says. I may be a not devotee. I may be most fallen rascal. But if I try to reach Krishna through Radharani, then my business is successful, Prabhupada says. Such a beautiful way Prabhupada writes. Therefore, we should worship Radharani first. Do we all, every day, everybody worship Radharani first? Yes. How? Hare Krishna. Who is Hare? Radharani. We are worshipping Radha Krishna every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I think one of the question was also why we chant Hare Krishna instead of Radha Krishna, no? Something like that. Why is the so because we are discussing that, I'll just give you the answer on that too. That what is the process of surrendering and embracing this Krishna consciousness? The first step is we accept a Guru and Guru Parampara. Accept Guru means Guru Parampara. We are accepting all the Gurus in that line all the way to Krishna. And what they promise is more than what we can imagine. They said we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amapati Sneha Jodi Thake Sabakar, Krishna Bhai na boliba na bolaibar. Mahaprabhu says, if you have by mercy of Nityananda Prabhu or Guru, if you develop a affection for me, Amapati Sneha Jodi Thake Sabakar, if you develop that affection for me, then I am instructing you. What? Prabhu kohe kohilam ei mahamantra iha japogiya koriya nirbandha. Iha hoite sarva siddhi hoibe savar, iha boi na boliba na bolaibar. These are very, very authoritative instruction Mahaprabhu gave. This is in Chaitanya Bhagavat. But Prabhu kohe kohilam ei mahamantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give Vrindavan Radha Krishna. It is not our chanting going to take us there alone. Our chanting under their guidance, under their direction will take us there. So what is also a hidden secret given that Hare, like there is a one group who is chanting Radhe Sham, Sham Sham, Radhe Radhe. Till today, millions of people they are chanting. So there was a time they even took us to the court. I don't know if you're familiar with the history of Gauriya. That Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time, they took us to the court that these people worshipping Radha Krishna, Madhacharya Sampradaya, they worship Krishna, not Radha Krishna. Ramanus Sampradaya, they do not worship Radha Krishna, very rare. They worship Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram like this. Then only Sampradaya, even Vallabhacharya Sampradaya, they worship Gopal, Krishna, not Radha Krishna. Only Nimbar Sampradaya. So then they literally took us to court, and then the disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur fought in the court, and the conversation took place that they went to investigate. So when they investigated, they asked, who is these two personality worshipping? They say they are the Supreme Absolute Truth. Is the Supreme Absolute Truth are dynamic, accommodating, harmonizing all the contradictory characteristics in themselves, moral, immoral, unethical, ethical, all this? He said, no, they're Supreme Absolute Truth. They're happily couple. So, okay. See how our Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur intelligence is applied through his disciples. Then they say, so what about this concept of Paramaur? Say, no. This is a divine couple. We just respect them. They are eternally married couple. Said, okay. So then they appeal to the court judge that our concept of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's concept of Radha Krishna is not what they are worshipping. So therefore we cannot be under their control. We have our own sampradaya. And then he established Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What do we sing? Jaya Jaya Ujjala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. This is Mahaprabhu's mood. He established Radha Krishna in a Parakiya. Is the highest realm. Jiva Goswami in the Sandarbhas and all our Acharya, their opinion more important than Shastra. Because before Madhavendra Puri, our Guru Parampara existed, but they did not reveal Radha Krishna of Vrindavan. Only after Madhavendra Puri, it has revealed to this level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it blossomed fully. So our Acharya's commentary is very well taken, that our worship through Harinam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the most profound and most highest degree of enjoyment that the divine couple ever relished in the spiritual domain. No other concept ever revealed that. So any other court gave full-fledged, yes, this is different form of Radha Krishna worship. It is not the same as Nimbarkacharya. Now we are respectful to all the Vaishnava Sampradaya, but this Vaishnava Sampradaya worship of Radha Krishna. Now I'm going to tell you another thing. Prabhupada actually put a very secret. You look at in the Vedavis, it's far out. Generally we don't think Prabhupada in that way, or at least I was not thinking. But some letter he wrote was very fascinating. He said, we worship Radha's Krishna. We do not worship Krishna. We worship Radha's Krishna. We don't worship Radha Krishna. We worship Radha's Krishna. And then Prabhupada writes, right, he says, we think Radha's property. Krishna is Radha's property. This is very far out. You don't think this concept ever existed before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So this is, therefore, Prabhupada writes, therefore we worship Radharani first. This is our business. Instead of offering directly one flower to Krishna, you just put it in the hands of Radharani. Jagan Mata, Radharani, if you kindly take this flower and offer it to Krishna. Oh, Radharani says, oh, you have brought a flower. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Tuyam Jome Bhakta Prajachati. Now, when I was reading this, I don't know whether Radharani is speaking or Prabhupada is speaking or Prabhupada is with Radharani conversing. It's a very mystical letter, you know, Prabhupada writes. And then he's quote Bhagavad Gita 9.26. Don't try to offer Krishna directly. Just offer through Radharani. It will be much appreciated by Radharani. So on welcoming Radhastami Day, where we can get down to our knees and praise. This is important. You get down to your knees and pray to Radharani for mercy. So this is our philosophy. To please Krishna through Radharani, just today, or Radhastami Day is the day of Radharani's appearance, and we should offer Pushpanjali. We should get up in the morning, 5 things as Prabhupada recommended. Get up in the morning and then take shower and chant. He didn't say in that lecture, he didn't say Mangalarti or anything, but he said get up in the morning, Mangalarti time, and then chant. And then you cook some nice food assisting Radharani and offer to Krishna. And then you honor the prasadam. Radharani is so merciful, you don't have to do fasting more than noon time. It's the only festival. Like every concession is there. And then after honoring prasadam, Prabhupada said, read some books about Radharani, and then you offer some flower and pranam mantra. That's how you celebrate Radhastami. And I'll end with this very nice, at the end of the class, I'll give you a small story just by observing Radhastami, what happened in our present life to one Mataji. I was fascinated to hear this. Now I'm going to discuss what is that absolute truth that we are discussing. Yesterday we discussed that one absolute truth has a dual form. What is absolute truth that Rupa Goswami Pad, Jiva Goswami Pad wants us to follow? So Jiva Goswami Pad says two things you must remember about Krishna. One thing is he is endowed with inconceivable potency. Always think like this. You know, Brishabhanu Maharaj, when he did not have a child, he was meditating how to have a child, how to have a child. Can you imagine what mantra he took to chant? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thousands of years back, he found this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and he took a vow with this conception. He said, this mantra is endowed with inconceivable potency. So I'm going to chant, and as a result, he got the Supreme Goddess as his daughter. So Jiva Goswami Pad says, we must remember this sloka. It's very simple, everybody can remember. Bhajaniya Sada Sarvada Sadguna Vishishta. Bhajaniya Sarvada Sadguna Vishishta. What does that mean? Translation? This is in Bhakti Sandarbha. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is endowed, who is possessor of 6 opulences incomplete, his qualities are so attractive, so enchanting, so endearing, so incredibly inspiring that one cannot resist but worship. This is the key point. We must understand Krishna's quality, character. He is a one personality you cannot live without. Whatever you're looking for in life, whether you're looking for relationship or looking for money or looking for happiness, whatever you're looking, you are looking for that personality. It's Krishna. That's why Jiva Goswami Pad says that his qualities are so attractive, so enchanting, so endearing, so incredibly inspiring that even a demon really sees that quality, he will fall in love with Krishna. But Krishna wants each of us to come on our own. That's why the process is taking a little longer. What is the, so yesterday we touched it, today we are going to also add a little more. The Krishna consciousness conception is the highest plane of truth, attainable for a living entity, for us. The basic of this conception is that absolute beauty. If you really look, Gopal Radhe Prabhu or Nitya Gauranga Prabhu or Madha Krishna Kanti, anybody, ask yourself, when you see, what is your first attraction in this world? Beauty. Whether it's a picture or a person or anything, if it is beautiful, you want to look again. We are captured by it. Krishna's quality first is beauty. His affection, his love, his harmonious characteristics. He's such a adorable, he's such a lovable, his stealing is the glorious, but generally we don't glorify a thief in this world. When somebody is a debauchee, we don't. But Radharani says he's such a debauchee that I don't want anything, anybody, only him. Because he is made completely with rasam, happiness. His debauchee character is so attractive that you will drown into it. You don't want to get out of it. This is a personality, Krishna. Any angle you look, even he's coming to steal from his own house. Mukhara said, I can't believe this. And Mother Yashoda says, what? He said, your son, the way he's looking at your house, he wants to steal from his own house. What is this? Why he's like looking like mischievous? Mother Yashoda said, do not make any noise. I just want to see his beauty. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. I can't resist. Mother Yashoda fell in love, even though knowing that Krishna is coming to steal from who? From his own house. Of course, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, must be stealing. When Krishna steals, the food must be more tasty than normal food given by mother. Otherwise, why he would have this character? But because his beauty overwhelming, his little smile, you forget everything. You faint. He's so attractive, such a character, his loveliness. So whatever he does, it is all turned and transformed into most attractive. So Mother Yashoda just staring at him and looking from far that her own son stealing from her own house, his own house, in a very mysterious way. And she just observed this. She said, I am in love, he's stealing. Would any mother think like this? No, not in the material world. Instead of correcting him, she is in love with his stealing in his own house. Does it make any sense? Materially, it doesn't make any sense. Why? No, because we don't steal from our own pocket. Imagine, you say, Pran Govinda Das stealing $100 from his own pocket. Well, that's not stealing. It's your own pocket shard. What's the big? But Krishna loves stealing from his own house. What is this character? Because his beauty and loveliness, his relationship is so attractive. It overwhelms them. They create this. So, it is Krishna alone who can satisfy the innermost hankering of each of us, each soul. Whatever you're looking, not necessarily we all have a good quality, even the bad quality. When it comes in contact with Krishna, it becomes the highest relishment. Anything Krishna does, it is wonderful. And he engages those souls with that nature to activate. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jeev Jago, Gora Chanda Bole. Wake up, wake up. Why? Because Mahaprabhu has come to give you something that you never could imagine. This is not something one majestic aspect. Chirakal nahi kori prema bhakti dan. Bhakti bina jagater nahi avasthan. Chaitanya Charitamrita, jab Mahaprabhu himself is revealing that Chirakal nahi kori prema bhakti dan. I never given them the prema bhakti. I gave them bhakti, but not prema bhakti. This Braja mood is prema bhakti. So we must judge a thing from a universal standpoint. If we are to judge a thing, we must judge its quality on the basis of its connection with the center. And that measurement may be made according to the standard of what? What is the standard? Ecstasy. Why people do things they do? Why? Because they like it. It makes sense? Why people do things they do? Because they need it. They like it. They feel good about it. So Krishna, everything he does, it is on the base of ecstasy, Rasham. Krishna Vaishaha. He is the embodiment of Rasa. In this world, everything is measured. Just like right now, if you are familiar, American dollar is a standard of currency of the world. If you really go anywhere in the world, even euro is there and other, but that's not the topics today. But just to mention that American dollar is a big standard in compared to dollar exchange, how your country is doing. American dollar is the standard of measurement. Similarly, in our existence, that this rasa, ecstasy feeling, it should be classified as a standard of measurement. This is Jiva Goswami Pad's point. And this rasam or taste is measured how? By the relationship. Santa, Dasya, Sakha, Vatsulya, Madhurja. That's why all these rasam all these relationship are established. Why all these relationship are established? Why you need mother, father, brother, father? Why God need that? To taste that. This is the point, that how Radharani actually manifesting all this for Krishna. You may think it is all for Krishna, but it is actually function of Radharani, the Ladini potency. Ultimately, Rasam, Anandam, happiness is the common standard by which to judge. Now I'm going to give you another secret that Jiva Goswami Pad gives, that what religion giving what, you measure from that standard. I don't mean to be rude, but you know, I have tested few philosophy, and one philosophy, I don't like to mention the name because I want to respect those beings. And there was one diamond dealer, he was strongly following that religion. And we discussed, so who am I? Who are you? He said, we are spirit. Is the spirit visible because of the matter? You have this body is made of matter. But the spirit can be anywhere, but is it visible? It can be perceived without matter. And you know, Aristotle and Plato says that spirit and matter exist together, but matter can exist, spirit can exist separately from matter. Aristotle says spirit and matter exist together, but spirit cannot exist separately from matter. And when Prabhupada heard it, Prabhupada said, that's not Vaishnavism. But when he heard the Plato's idea, he said, that's Vaishnava philosophy. So this philosophy is floating in the West also, this Krishna consciousness basic philosophy. And when I asked this gentleman, he's very strict on his vow of his religion. You know, he's from Bombay, the rich man. So he says, the spirit exists. I said, what is the purpose of the spirit exist? He said, well, just to dissolve the subtle misconception, diminishing. I said, what does that mean? You believe in reincarnation? He said, yes. What happened after reincarnation? How far does it go? He said, until the mental system is dissolved. I said, wow, very wonderful. After mental system is dissolved, then what happened to you, the spirit? He said, that's also dissolved. I say, you are atheist, but in the name of religion. And I don't, you know, it's not a proper way to say it, but I just said to him, and I realized that I'm offending him. It's not proper. He said, why you said that? I said, because you're saying that your religion, but ultimate end of your existence is nothing. Dissolve. What is the dissolve? You don't, he said, it's like a deep sleep. I said, deep sleep, we don't enjoy in unconscious state. I want to enjoy in conscious state. So that conception, if I tell you the name of the religion, you'll say, oh my God, that's their philosophy. Yes. And there is another group, which is over 1 billion people in this world. And they have the same concept at the end, dissolve the mental system. Then what happened? Oh, I exist. But is there a separate identity? No. Is there are you equal to everything at that point? Yes. I said, that's impersonalism. It's another form of atheistic too. If you don't expect, if we don't accept personality, what to talk about Radha Krishna is so high. We should, more we dig what is floating in the world, we cannot imagine Radha Krishna's worshipper are so high elevated. It's a giant dimension to look at that. So back to this. That means we must judge how far a religion is durable, eternal, and rasam, produce the ecstasy. That much that religion is closer to Krishna consciousness. Because What is it development of Rasam, Anandam? When you come to that point, almost 50% of religion disappears. Just like in Quran, there is no description that God has a family or parama or what to talk about parama, or God has a family or relationship with the soul. There is no such explanation. But God is there. What does he do? No information. But Krishna conception is what? Dynamic. God is active. He is doing any conception anybody has, it has its origin there. Krishna concept is full-fledged, and Srimati Radharani is providing the full-fledged of that. It's such a charming that a place where you will never feel lost, always full of dynamic. And the ecstasy is higher than, from Mahaprabhu says, Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam. It kept growing. Your happiness kept growing. When it ends, never ends. Wow, how is that possible? Because we are measuring from the matter. Matter means this dead matter, body. Body is limited. But the soul, when it's connected with the unlimited, it becomes part of the unlimited. So happiness also expands. What a dynamic philosophy Mahaprabhu came to give, the Radha Krishna's love. It's unbelievable. We cannot fathom enough. So 4 things we should remember about the absolute truth. First, Dhira Datta, Dhira Uddata, Dhira Santa, Dhira Lalita. In English, Dhira Datta means gentle boy. God, a hero, Radharani reciprocating whole Brajavasi. Who is God there? Gentle boy, very gentle, like a Lord Ramachandra. Like that. Krishna exhibits some of the pastime. He cares for the citizen. He cares for the Brajavasi. How does he care? He lifted Govardhan. He cares for the Brajavasi, isn't? He's a very gentle hero. Krishna is a gentle hero. He lift up. When there is a problem, they call him, and Krishna immediately come and protect them. But he's not God. He's just their best well-wisher friend who is always there. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That's only applicable to Krishna and Brajavasi. So over there, Krishna is acting as a Dhira Datta. But Krishna's second heroic form, so 4 heroic form Krishna has. First one is a gentle boy, Dhira Datta. Means he he cares for the Brajavasi. Yes, he cares. Second is, he is a Dhira Uddata. Dhira Uddata is a bad boy. You know, bad boy, Gopalade Prabhu, you ever know bad boy? You know, the gang party, the bad boy. In Bengal, we used to have called Naxalites. They would put the name, and they would will say, tomorrow 1 o'clock we'll kill the bank manager, 2 o'clock we'll kill this one, and police, nobody could stop. And guess how far it went? They sent a telegraph to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was going to give a lecture in Gorkhi Sadan, Calcutta, and Prabhupada got a telegraph. Those days they didn't have a telephone, I guess, system so much. Telegraph. Fly or die. This is a famous story in Calcutta of Prabhupada. Fly or die. So who they're giving? Prabhupada is also from Calcutta. So Prabhupada saw the telegraph. Say fly or die. And he knows these are very dangerous people, those Naxalites. They are worse than communists. So then Prabhupada told, no, we are going. And he went. But when he went there, they warned him that not too many people will come because they are scared of this Naxalite. Nobody likes to face. Prabhupada went there. It was a very sweet pastime. I'll narrate in a short, very nice. So Pishima also went there, his sister. She was at the gate and conversing with the young man. I guess Pishima was a heroine also, type of, I mean, I'm guessing. She was not afraid. And Prabhupada sat down in a Besasana in the stage. So all of a sudden Prabhupada started speaking, and he's hearing the conversation at the gate like a little growing louder. So at one point Prabhupada stopped and Prabhupada said, "You have something to say in Bengali. তোমাদের কিছু বলতে হবে, আসো এখানে এসে বসো." He said just like this. "You have something to say, come here and sit down." So then they said, they replied from there, "Get down," in English. Get down. So then Prabhupada is thinking, get down from where? I'm sitting on a Besasana. You mean like, I guess he was thinking. So he said, then he spoke in Bengali. He said, "I can get down. The purpose of the Besasana, it is not to sit high. Purpose of the Besasana," I learned this. It's so nicely way Prabhupada said it. It's the purpose of the Besasana where the speaker can reach the audience in a clear channel. So if I sit down on the floor and you will hear better, I'll sit. I'll sit anywhere you want me to sit where you can hear better. Come here and sit down and tell me. They came all the way. They're so brave, they're not so. They came and sat down in front of Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada spoke for some time and then they left. Nothing happened after that. And we don't know what happened to those Naxalites, but Prabhupada was not threatened. But Prabhupada was not afraid of Naxalite. But that doesn't mean we should take that risk also. Recently, I just read in the temple, I make announcement sometime in the morning, that Prabhupada was, before he established 26th Avenue, Prabhupada did not have a nice place. He used to take a morning walk on east side. So Prabhupada was going every day morning walk. One day, a acquaintance came and said, "There's a lot of shooting going on in this road." And Prabhupada never went on that route ever. So was a very nice observation that, what's his name, Satswarup Maharaj put it down in Lilamrita, that if Prabhupada is careful to protect his body so that he could serve his Guru and Krishna nicely, and he took the precaution, all ISKCON members also should learn a lesson from it. Prabhupada took a fearless task in Calcutta with Naxalite, but here Prabhupada did not go next day on that route for morning walk. So if there is a coronavirus or whatever, we need to take care of our body so we can serve our Guru Krishna. So good lesson Prabhupada established. Okay, back to this absolute. So absolute Krishna has a 4 manifestation heroic form. The first is Dhiradatta. As I mentioned, he cares for his devotee. He lifts up Govardhan. Next, he is a bad boy. How is a bad boy hero? Just like he killed the demon. He chastised Kaliya. Hey, you get out of the Vrindavan. So Kaliya had to leave. He gave a warning to Arishtasura that you trying to disturb our pastimes, I'm going to literally make you trash. And he did. And he told him that he will send him to Jamalai. So he's like a bad boy, bad boy, the gang leader, he gives a threatening to the opponent. So Krishna also a hero. His name is Dhirodhata. In Vrindavan, he also exhibits this. And the third one is Krishna also Dhira Santa, a peaceful boy. Like in Rajasriya Jagna, we see Krishna is washing everybody's feet. Wow, what a submissive, nice. Mother Joshoda says, "Krishna, can you bring the sandals of your father?" Krishna definitely pick up the sandals and is bringing. Very submissive. So like this, loving, caring for his family, friends, and everyone. But what is the prominent in Vrindavan? All 3 hero status is there, but not as prominent as one, which is called Dhira Lalita. Dhira Lalita is a party boy, playboy. You ever heard the name playboy, party boy? That's Krishna in Vrindavan. What does he do? Well, no incarnation of Krishna will have this. It's only Krishna alone. No incarnation can display this. He wants to be controlled by his heroine. He's literally submit. He wants to be controlled by Radharani. Because Radharani is emblem of that love. This is the first qualification of Dhira Lalita. Then always is joking. Now Radharani also has a guru. Who is Radharani's guru? Sakhi gana mama parama sundari jugala premero guru. So Radharani considered Lalita Sakhi to be her spiritual master. How to meet Krishna, all these obstacles. She gives training. Or Radhe, come here. It's going to be rainy day, very soon coming. Now Lalita Sakhi will make a slippery road. Okay, now start learning how to walk on this slippery road. And Radharani is like, oh my God, it's so slippery. No, you have to keep on going. Oh, almost falling. Oh, keep on trying. Like this. So she trains her how to do Avisharika, 8 types of meeting. And one is Avisharika. Avisharika means they align with if it is a full moon, Radharani will have a white dress. If it's a dark moon, black dress. So nobody can identify her. No, it's like a trickery of this world, but it is in a pure form over there. So like this, Lalita Sakhi train. But Lalita Sakhi training Radharani, then now you have to be serious. Do not talk to him, he's coming. He did not come on time to converse with us, to make you happy, and you are waiting, so you have to stop laughing, be serious. And Radharani is cracking up. Janta bandhava sarve sadhave guruve jana. This is in Padmavali, beautiful verse that spoken by Rupa Goswami Pad very nicely. A few verses. All these Padmavali's verses has a pastimes almost. So there, Radharani is, Lalita Sakhi is telling Radharani, you please don't joke, don't smile. She said, I can't, because he's telling me all kinds of humorous stories in my heart. I cannot stop. And she's cracking up. Say, no, he's here, just stop, be serious. She can't, because he is inside and outside, both. So outside he's coming like he did offensive, he's not on time, but inside he's telling her all kinds of funny story that she cannot stop cracking. So this is Krishna. He's called Dhira Lalita, a super hero, a heroic personality never seen in the history of anywhere or any incarnation of God. Now I'm going to give you a little glimpse. This Radharani's mood has a different division, and tomorrow we'll discuss how that breaks down. For an example, Radharani manifests herself in Dwarka, in Mahavaikuntha, in Vaikuntha, and like this. As Krishna expand, Radharani also expand. But their expansion is very, very attractive. It's fulfilling, nourishing. It's not like a reincarnation for us. We are helpless. We cannot compare their expansion become like this. It's a nourishment. When we talk about Radharani's Tattvagata Vichar or Lilagata Vichar, we have to remember something very crucial point, that Srimati Radharani's love is Asamurdha. Prabhupada used the word Asamurdha, means unparalleled. Never seen, equal or above. Asama Urdha. In Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani's mercy is profusely available to all fortunate souls who comes there. But we have to understand also, Vrindavan is not a physical proximity or made of matter. It is pure transcendental abode, and it's a residence of the Lord, Radha and Krishna. So, from the conversation of Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see that how Ramananda Rai revealed this secret to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Ladinira Sara Prema Prema Sara Bhavo Bhavera Parama Kasta Nam Mahabhavo. The essence of pleasure potency is love of Godhead. And the essence of love of Godhead is bhava. It is not a bhava from the heart. It is another bhava stage after prema. Bhava bhakti and bhava stage is another thing. Then bhavera paramakasta nam mahabhava. When that bhava manifests, fully blossomed, then it is known as mahabhava. And mahabhava swarupini, the embodiment of that mahabhava, Sri Radha Thakurani, Sri Radharani herself. This is the most fascinating. Krishna Guno Khodi Kanta Shiromani. And she is endowed with unlimited quality, characteristics, playful pastime to give pleasure to Krishna. So then question comes, what is that Radharani's love really boils down? One question we put recently, that Jaiva Dharma states Sri Krishna is one who is served, and Supreme and Shakti Srimati Radharani is his Shebadasi. We hear that Srimati Radharani can control Krishna with her love. How can we understand that this is ultimately pleasing to Sri Krishna? I'm not going to narrate so many pastimes until we understand this tattva, because the story will become like a Bollywood story. Prabhupada was not promoting us to drive for that. Prabhupada wants us to purify our heart. So when we hear even the word Radha Krishna, we should have a tears and affection for them, love for them. This is important, heart purification. So tattva is very important, because all these pastimes are narrated there. And today when I was talking to a couple of sannyasis actually and candidates on our discussion over the phone. This is very important in ISKCON, that the way Prabhupada said it, that we should purify our heart by the mercy. When we purify our heart, what does that mean? When our thinking, willing, feeling is not going towards the sense gratification, it is rather going to please Radha Krishna, then hearing about Radha Krishna will have access to enter into that domain with service. Now the first key word, through the dedication, not through the enjoyment spirit. This is the big difference between material and spiritual. In material world, we have a spirit of enjoyment. And we think of Radha Krishna's world, wow, we don't have to die, we can enjoy whole life. That's an enjoyment spirit. You will be missing the key to open the door. It is not the enjoyment spirit will allow us access. It is the dedication, active dedication, not just dedication, is active dedication. Devotional school wants service by dedication. Crossing the plane of exploitation and renunciation or indifference. What Prabhupada called in the preface, Bhoga Tego. Active dedication and service, this is the key point in our life. In the beginning, there is a help of Shastra, scriptures. Also, there is much excitement. That is all grandeur, all power. That is found in the worship of Narayan. But you cannot go to Golok Vrindavan without going through Vaikuntha. Try to understand this. The chronological path that chalked out by Rupa Goswami Pad It did not say you go to Golok Vrindavan and you miss Vaikuntha. No, no. You have to pass through a majestic aspect. You have to surrender to that supreme majestic. And then you pass through the Vaikuntha. Then you come to Mahavaikuntha, where 50-50. Dedication is fully there, also sweetness is revealing. 75-25, then 50-50 to 75-25, then 100% in a sweet pastimes. This is a gradual progression. When we think of Oyan reverence, we're talking about the worship of Narayan. That is required. We should understand. You know, sometimes we have feeling like we are thriving for Golok Vrindavan, and Vaikuntha is like a backyard of our house. Nobody even want to look at it. Please don't misunderstand like this. It's not like that. Vaikuntha is not in your backyard, like you don't care. They think like this, you know, we are going to Golok Vrindavan. Who cares Vaikuntha or Nishingadev's place or Bamandev's place in Vaikuntha? No, be very careful. Very, very careful. Siddhantastu abhedopi. That verse says Siddhantastu abhed. Do not see it bhed, separate. You should see it's abhed. Siddhantastu abhedopi Srisha Krishna Sarupaya. Sri means Lakshmi, Isha means Narayan. Srisha Krishna Sarupaya. Do not see the difference between Lakshmi Narayan and Radha Krishna. As far transcendental realization. Then the verse says, Siddhantasto abhedopi Srisha Krishna Sarupaya Rasena Utkrishyate Esha Krishna Rupam Rasasthiti. But when you think of the transcendental Rasam, Anandam, Kirtanam, Nartanam, happiness, then Krishna Rupa is everything. Forget everything else. But this is there is a gradual progress, very sweet. So dedication is the foundation of love. You must remember this. Dedication is the foundation of love. Are you dedicating to your guru? Yes, I'm ready to serve. Whatever my guru say, I'm there. This kind of dedication, not blindly. Prabhupada said you use intelligence. You offer everything except the intelligence. Intelligence has to guide you to surrender to guru. Don't offer your intelligence because we are not blind follower. We are conscious follower. We know why we are thriving, but we may not understand, but we have a strong faith because they are practicing. They are such intelligent. Their Guru Vaishnav, they can give me million times more than my own happiness that I can do on my own. That's why we surrender to their lotus feet. Even a calculative way. What I can come on my own, when we hear about their giving, it's a million times more. Then why should I depend on my own? I want to depend on their lotus feet, lotus instruction. So this is dedication is a foundation of love, the structure of love. Without dedication, no love can stand. On these 2 points, you can see Radharani's standard. Radharani has these 2 philosophy. What can I do at this moment that will bring pleasure to my beloved Krishna? She is constantly thinking this. This is dedication. Dedication depends on these 2 legs. What can I do right now that will bring pleasure to my Krishna? What can I give up and not do that will bring pleasure to him? On these 2 principles, Radharani is the highest amongst all devotees. So when we talk about Radharani, Mahabhava Swarupini, as I mentioned that sloka, Radhika, why maid servant of Radharani is so glorified? Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, service to Radhika. We want to dedicate ourselves to that. The highest ideal of dedication is Radharani herself proving, and we want to follow that way. She is the greatest devotee of the autocrat Krishna. Dedication is seen in its zenith there. Those who achieve her association in any way, even a slight connection with her, purifies them all. That is the highest wealth. This is the highest wealth we can count. And how do we know this? Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came only to prove to the world the highest dignity of Radharani. Yesterday we discussed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give 4 things, you remember? One thing was the highest dignity of Radharani. This is Mahaprabhu's contribution, highest dignity of Radharani. It is a statement of those who are closely connected with Radharani, that Mahaprabhu has distributed her heart's nectar. So it is our greatest benefactor, our canvasser, is the most intimate companion of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to establish that in every soul's heart. We should never forget this. This is very important. So let's see how it manifested in practically in our day-to-day life. Service to Radha Krishna is the highest treasure. How can we see right now? Now let's see in the material world who is holding the highest position. Who is holding the highest position in the material world? Brahmaji, isn't? If you look at Brahmaji's position, he holds the highest position. How? I discussed in Bhakti Shastri, I think, or maybe somewhere, that what is the standard of happiness measured in this material world? As if you are a human being with these 7 things, everybody remembers, I hope, as a human being. That if you multiply that happiness 100 times more, you know what the forefather planet enjoy, then the demigods they enjoy, the Prajapati they enjoy, and the highest enjoyment is in the Brahma Loka, where Brahmaji is sitting. Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Satyaloka is the Brahmaji's place. Bhu, Bhava, Sa, then Jana, Tapa, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, then Satyaloka, the 7th. The Brahmaji's position is so high. In our Guru Parampara, who is the highest position after Krishna? Brahmaji. So from both angles, spiritually and materially, you can see Brahmaji's position is so high, isn't it? But what did Brahmaji do? As for Radharani, he prayed in a big austerity. He went such a severe austerity. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that ultimate treasure that can be achieved is to be the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord of Gopis, Sri Krishna. And the example is Lord Brahma. How? In Barshana. What is that mountain hill? It's Brahmaji. His own head. He's taking the dust of Radharani on his forehead, on his head. And Krishna's dust, all the Brajavashi goes there. We need to see from that angle. We want mercy of Radharani. See, our Guru had Brahmaji. Materially, spiritually, he is the highest holding position at this moment. You know, we adore gurus. He is our main guru after Krishna. He submitted this through his meditation and became the mountain of 4 peaks. In Barshana, there is a 4 peaks, 4 heads, because he has a forehead. You know, Brahmaji has a forehead. And potency that Lord Krishna says, myself and my beloved Radharani constantly trembling upon your head with our feet. And Lord Brahma considered that is ultimate benediction he got. What a wonderful example. We generally think we want to be advanced. Are Brahmaji already advanced, most advanced, next to Krishna, heard Krishna directly. He is saying, take the foot dust of Radharani on your forehead, on your head. That's Brahmaji himself doing. So we learn from the Brahmaji. The taking shelter in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotee is very important. Because also Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuvana Loka, even in Brahma Loka, there is a trouble. Nothing in this world can satisfy us. That's why Brahmaji did this. That even Brahmaji is trouble, the highest of this material elevation. That Brahmaji was trouble. So there we see that Brahmaji was meditating for a long time and he got this benediction that he wanted to touch the foot dust of Radharani and Krishna. And in that mountain, that when nearby the Maharaj Vrishabhanu and Kirtida Devi, they were residing. They didn't have children. Nanda Baba didn't have children. Nanda Maharaj's father, Prajna Maharaj, he was a big worshipper of Nandishwar, Shiva. And Shiva, Lord Shiva appeared. He said, don't worry, you will have a son. But the son would be such a famous that even Brahma Shiva, Shiva Lord himself said, we will be also coming to visit your grandchild. So Nanda Maharaj's son, Krishna, will be coming, it's also predicted. Similarly, Radharani's arrival is also very mysterious. Many examples are given. Of course, in Golok Vrindavan, we know there is no Janma Lila. Janma Lila in that sense that Radharani, of course, did not take birth just like an ordinary. And we know that, recently somebody, one Maharaj from Russia, sent a question that in connection to Radharani's birth, people often ask that it is mentioned in some places that Radharani is the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Sundari. Then another place he says Radha Sahasra Nam. There it says that the Radharani is addressed as Kalabati Kanna. So the question is the Kalabati and Kirtida are same person, or they are different, two different persons? So what is the understanding? So we found a reference, and I sent that reference to him, that yes, we understand that very elaborately explained that Himalaya, his daughter Parvati, who married to Lord Shiva, and Himalaya's sister-in-law, Kalavati, the wife of Vindhyachal, there is another mountain, Vindhyachal. They are kind of a rival, you know. So when Lord Shiva was getting married, maybe I don't mention the details because it's a very hilarious story, but it's a long pastimes. That how funny that Lord Shiva's, marriage ceremony. I don't know, in America, they don't have that kind of ceremony. In Bengal, they have a marriage ceremony that the bride's family, groom's family, they go in a procession to the bride's house. They have to reach there before evening, something like that, some auspicious time. And the wedding will take place. So of course, the groom goes on a riding horse or just walk, and he's the king of the day, Prabhupada says. He's being decorated with jewelry, all kinds of. So when Lord Shiva was getting married, of course, he didn't have this kind of people join. He had some associate, like a 2-mile neck and a little, like a 2-mile neck. Can you imagine 2-mile neck, a creature, and has a giant face? And the 2-mile, the neck is so skinny, and there's a big tummy, and he's also walking. And all kinds of creature. And I really, one time I made a note. I was like, why is this like a scary or is a wedding procession? Wedding procession is a joyful procession. But then they are the follower of Lord Shiva. What can you do? They want to come to join their master's wedding. It's the greatest joy. If your boss is getting married, he invites you, you generally joyfully go there. But who are the Anuchar, the Shiva's follower? That's the question. If you ever go to Mathura, you'll see Adi Keshav Math. There is a diorama of weird creatures of Shiva's wedding party. And I was like, wow, that's such a relevant. And there is one girl who has a one eye, one side, and she has a tongue, she's drinking the blood, and the other eye is another mile. It's really frightening. Anyway, better not describe too much about this. But Lord Shiva had a big party, wedding party. So Lord Narad Muni, he came to Vindhyachal. He said, what's going on? Your competitor having a big wedding party, and you are not getting now. What's going to happen? So Vindhyachal went in meditation, very serious meditation. When he went in meditation, then Lord appeared, Brahmaji appeared. So what do you want? Say, I want a daughter whose husband can defeat Shiva. The rivalry does not stop there. Even if you want a daughter, but you want to engage in the family warfare with your enemy. This is a very funny. We should not imitate this. This is just a pastime we hear. So then Vindhyachal meditated. Then his wife name was that Kalavati. It's not a Kirtida Sundari. They're not same person. So Kalavati is daughter is born. Now, if you look at in Bhagavatam, there are 14 types of Rakshasi, and Putana is the head of the 14 types called Kutara. Kutara is very famous. Anyway, that's not a discussion so much about today. But Putana, some or other, has a discrimination. She's not an ordinary witch. She always proud of herself. She said, I'm not an ordinary witch. I just don't eat the child. I just eat only the male child, not the female child. But she's always flying in the sky. Catcher. Catcher means they fly in the sky. Like a, what do you call this in America? Halloween party. The ghost, the lady flying with the witch, flying on the broom. This is because Putana, that's what she does. So she's flying on the sky. All of a sudden she saw there's 8 babies. She's thinking, wow, this is my feast, Maha feast day. So she came down from the sky just like this, like a eagle, and grabbed those babies and picked them up on the sky. And guess who they are? Radharani, Chandravali, these are all 8 Sakis. They're the origin 8 Sakis. They are not Radharani Shapaksa, not Lalita Vishaka. They have their own groups for nourishing Krishnas. So then Putana realized that none of them are boys. And Putana has a discrimination. She is very picky. When you go to eat, Kormi goes to the restaurant, they're very picky. They don't like this, they like only this. Putana has a preference. She only likes the boy. Boy child, she twists the neck and drink the sap of the dead. Anyway, it's very dramatic. But she found all the girls, so she's like feeling little morose. Of course, the Brahman was chanting the mantra so powerfully, then all of a sudden, Radharani slipped out from her grief and dropped. Where she dropped, that's the spot. Till today in the Jamuna, that area, they have a beautiful small temple there. And that part of the Jamuna was filled with roses, lotuses. That's very beautiful. So that's how Radharani appeared there. And then we hear the story that Mother Kirtida Sundari went there with her group, she found her. But another story is that actually Vishwavanu Maharaj went there and Mother Kirtida was not there because he found her first. So in the prayers we say, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi. Why Vrishabhanu Sute? Because he found her first. So this is one conception. Another conception is, no, Kirtida Sundari found. It's possible another day of Brahma. But father always loves the daughter more and the mother loves the son more. It's a observation. It is not a shastric evidence, but it's an observation. So as a result, she is also very, you'll see, Vishwavanu Dulari, so many names she has, like Vishwavanu Maharaj is very affectionate. So like this, we see that Radharani appears there. But of course, it is not possible Putana to touch. But because Putana is a disciple of Durvasa, she had a 60,000 horsepower. And Radharani, before she will touch Krishna, Putana has to have a mercy of Radharani. Before you approach Krishna, you have to, we say Hare Krishna. Before you go to Krishna, you have to have a mercy of Radharani. So Putana got the mercy of Radharani first. Then when Krishna, 7 years old, that he was already there. So that's how it took place. The time zoning is not exactly in our calculation. You know, in Jamala Arjuna story, that when Jamala Arjuna, that both tree fell, and you may think like, where was Mother Josuda? How come there is a long prayers? Whole chapter is a prayers of these two demigods conversing with the Lord. Oh my God, such a giant tree fell, so much sound, 20 miles far, the devotee heard, they're running to see, but Mother Josoda was only 20 feet, but she didn't hear it. How is this? How to understand this? Seto spurata Krishna lila anusarataha. This is the verse given, Krishna lila anusarataha. According to the lila, Jogomaya create the sound. Who can hear, when, how? So we cannot put in our logic. You follow? We can do that. Time is ticking. We're going to go. So there is a one beautiful story, you know, how Radharani is so merciful. Radharani is so merciful that this story, different devotee explain this, that how if we can take shelter of Radharani, even we are rascal or fool or not a good devotee, we still have a chance to enter into the highest domain of Krishna conception. That there was a jackal, you all heard that story, I hope so, that the jackal was surrounded by the group of children where they're throwing rocks. And this she-jackal howled in pain because they're trying to almost hurt this jackal so much. And jackal in pain, screaming, screaming, screaming. Some or other, because fortunate or unfortunate, the Jogomaya's arrangement, that jackal's howling reached to the ear of Srimati Radharani. Such is the nature of love, Radharani's love and grace. It literally defies all logic and reason. She is the personification of compassion. What happened? She immediately told the Sakhis to bring this jackal in front of her. And just by glancing on her, she transformed the jackal into a coward girl, gopi girl, her own maidservant. Wow. You may think like, wow, can I be somewhere like a, whatever it is, jackal or something, so I can be just a maidservant of Radharani. It is possible only by her mercy, because this is her nature. That's why devotee, Prabhupada said in Vrindavan, they chant Jai Radhe. Prabhupada mentioned that. They take advantage that it is difficult to approach Krishna, but through Radharani it is easy. The devotees in the Holy Land, Vrindavan, till today, you will see they chant Jai Radhe. That's precise the reason why the names of Sri Radha is more famous than the names of Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. Radharani is the custodian, personification of bhakti. She is eager to award it to anyone, including us, whether we are in New Orleans, New York, or Alachua, or anywhere. And there's a beautiful song is made in her, so sweet. I'm sure everybody knows, probably, I hope so. Samsara sagara ghore bhitam mam saranagatam sebhayopi vinirmuktam kuru radhe sureshwari. Oh Radhe, I have fallen into the terrible ocean of birth and death. You can pray while you hear this in your mind also. O Radhe, I have fallen into the horrible ocean of birth and death. I am frightened. I am seeking your shelter, O Queen of demigods, O Queen of all the devotees, O Queen of Vrindavan. Please free me from all fears and take me to your lotus feet. Tat pada padma jugale pada padma orchite dehi mayam param bhakti krishnena parisevite. O Radhike, please give me the transcendental devotional service to your lotus feet, which are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lakshmi, which are served even by Lord Krishna. Smarala garala khandanam mama sirasi mandanam dehi pada pallava mudare. So, just like this jackal got deliverance, we can also get deliverance just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Radharani will be happy. Because this is Radha Krishna together, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced this. Radharani is so merciful in Vrindavan. I want you to think what Radharani thinks. Our Acharya writes, charity, that you give charity. Charity is not just an activity, she said. It is also a mentality. An action of contributing to some worthy cause, but an inner disposition that expresses itself in regular charitable activity. Make sense? Good. It is a joyful activities in devotional mood for the pleasure of Krishna, because she is doing charity every day. And Krishna also does in Vrindavan charity. But sometimes Radharani correct Krishna's mentality. And that's why the first time I mentioned the charity is not an action of contributing to some worthy cause. It is an action of contributing to some, it is an activity, also it is a mentality. So every day Nanda Maharaj, in the evening when Krishna comes, he takes off the dress and then he bathe and he honor prasadam, and then he sits on Nanda Baba's lap, and all the Brajavashi comes. Every day evening they have this Harikatha place. Just like we're doing Harikatha, it's a good habit if you can do it every day. Because in Golok Vrindavan, that's all they do every evening. In Dwarka they do. They don't have a television. They don't turn on television or iPhone, whatever. But it's okay. Zoom is good because it helps us to connect them. So every day Nanda Baba sits with Krishna and he gives charity. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj brings Radharani also to watch what's going on every day. So Radharani is sitting on Baba's shoulder or lap and just watching. And Krishna has the rules. Everybody lined up with a patra. But if you are a kupatra or what is called apatra, you will not get it. Means if you don't have a pot, you will not get it. You have to have a pot. So now it's inconceivable, because Krishna gives gold coin to everybody, anything they want, gold coin, this, that. But who is making the gold coin? Where these millions of gold coin coming, nobody knows. It's a very mystical. Krishna said every day, evening, every Brajavashi comes, so he's giving some. And somebody has no pots, he's just holding the hand. He said, Krishna said, no pot, then go. Next, Radharani is watching and she's talking, whispering to her father. Father, what kind of charity is he giving? So then her father says, what do you mean? This is not a good way of giving charity. What is his mentality? It is not only activity, it should be also mentality. He's giving charity to the person who has a pot. But what about somebody who don't have a pot? He's depriving them. So then she gave a whole lecture to her father, and her father took her and himself went to Nanda Maharaj and told Krishna, this is what Srimati Radhika is thinking. that your giving charity is good, but it is not fulfilling everybody's desire. Can you change the mentality? Give anybody and everybody, whoever comes. Don't give a qualification. Oh, you have to have a pot to get it. No, if they don't have a pot, you arrange the pot and give it to them. The pot and the charity gift. And Krishna is thinking, wow, this is far out. Why didn't I think? Of course, this is the speciality of Radharani. She is unbelievably merciful. So in Vrindavan, Radharani is well known by Krishna that how her way of thinking of giving gift is most phenomenal. Srila Prabhupada in 1969, he said that, it's very sweet. I'm going to read this letter. You can see in the Vedaves. He gave a lecture on Radhastami, and he says, I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like a molten gold, and who is queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. You are very dear to Lord Krishna. We approach Krishna through Radharani, through the mercy of Radharani. Then it becomes very easy. If Radharani recommends, then devotees are very nice. This is Prabhupada's own word. He says, therefore, we should approach Krishna only through Radharani. Otherwise, he says, Manushyanam Sahasreshu. It will take millions of life. That scared me when I heard this. I'm going to end with one little story in Radhastami observation and Janmashtami observation. How they celebrate. So on Janmashtami observation, Krishna celebrated one Janmashtami and one Radhastami in each other's house. In Nanda Maharaj's house, there's 50 rooms on the front palace, 50 rooms. And there is 2 rooms dedicated whenever Radharani comes to cook. If she needs to take rest with her assistant, they rest there. And then nearby there is a beautiful lake where Radharani, and there is also a beautiful guest house. Radharani and her associate Rupa Manjari, they can rest there. One time, Mother Vishwanu Maharaj and Kirtita Sundari invited some close associate, including Krishna and his parents. So when the news came, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba told Krishna, tomorrow you are not going to go for cow pasturing. Tomorrow we are going to visit a surprise birthday party. So then Krishna says, okay, but I cannot go alone. I have to have my friend with me. I never go alone. I never do anything alone. Okay, just few, because it is not proper when somebody invites you, bring your whole friend. And of course, Krishna has an unlimited friend too. So I don't know what that means. But Krishna says, okay, just few friends. So he got some friends with him. And surprise party was the head cook. This is her third birthday party. She cooked herself, Radharani, the entire feast. There's hundreds of people, Brajavasi came to honor. Now, this is what happened. Oh, he's happy. I thought that we are running out of time. He's clapping because he's happy. So Radharani cooked a beautiful feast. Now, who can get this feast? Who can honor? It's like a very extremely rare. Now, when Kirtita Sundari, every time Kirtita Sundari speaks to her daughter, she's always very shy, but she says, yes, mother. She always touch her feet. Say, yes, mother. Say, you need to cook tomorrow a big feast. Okay, mother, whatever you want, I'll do it. Such a sweet, reciprocation between daughter and mother. So in the morning, Srimati Radharani got all this beautiful arrangement, cutting vegetable, making the preparation, and she's thinking what she's going to cook and the whole idea. She had no idea that Krishna is coming also there. Now, first birth, you know that that took place when Narad Muni came to see, and I'm sure you all heard that how Radharani was born blind and Krishna touch made her open. So this is a third birthday. Every birthday party, there is a nice, beautiful pastime. So on third birthday party, so when in the morning, it's a beautiful decoration. When they invite people, they literally decorate the whole house, whole garden. Vrindavan is a very mystical. It is only 32 square mile. Within 32 square mile, in one forest, they have a 2 million miles gardens and forest and lakes. 2 million miles within 32 miles. Now, if you say this is a how to believe, it is not a belief, it's question of inconceivable potency. We cannot comprehend with our material calculation. So then, when everybody started coming, they were like surprised, the whole outside, inside, such a beautiful decoration, they all welcomed. Finally, they all welcomed to Nanda Baba. Vishwanu Maharaj welcomed him. They gave a hug. And they have a natural affection. This is a very interesting, because Radha Krishna is related to the whole community, natural affection for each other, because they are in the center. This is what Krishna-centered family. Doesn't mean Krishna only alone, because Krishna is related to his brother, you feel affection for his brother, because he is related to Krishna. So like this, the whole community, everybody is always joyful and affectionate and care and loving nature always. So then they all are having a good reception, and after a reception, Mother Yashoda asked, so what's going on? Who is cooking? All these peoples say, come with me. So she took her inside. And when she took her inside, they were like surprised. So how many preparation? Wow. It's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Who has cooked all this? He said, I'll show you, come. So then in the indoor, there's thousands of young girls, 3 years, 4 years old. You don't conceive them to be the best cook in the world, chef. But Mother Yashoda said, but who is the main? They are like, she's in her mind, she was thinking they are just probably little bit bringing the sabji or something, or washing the vegetable or something, not really cutting and cooking. And then she's introduced, this is my daughter. She's the cook. How can she be the cook? How can she be the cook? She's only a little girl. And mother, the Vishwanu Nandini, Radharani, is so shy and so respectful to all the elders. She's like putting veils so down and then not looking. She has one Acharya explained that when she walks, her one eye guarding all the Gurujan, who is who, where they are. Is she properly respecting and what they are looking at her, what they are thinking. She's like with one eye looking this like this. And the other eye, half she's looking Lolita, Visakha, where they are, how close they are, because she has a veil in Vrindavan. And other half eye looking at Krishna. Nobody is looking at this. Now, don't put the logic that how you divide the eye. No, it is not for our eye. Our eye is a dead matter. Her eyes is a divine, beautiful eye. She is Krishna, but she has a proper respect to all those Brajavasis and everything. Very sweet. So then, Mother Yashoda was surprised. How can she cook like this? Oh, I have to tell you the story of Durvasa. Durvasa, how he was so happy that just by the fragrance of Radharani's cooking sweet rice, he said, this is not an ordinary. Immediately, instantly is so happy that he gave a blessing that anybody eats her cooking will get these two results. Always live strong, healthy, happy body. In America, they call macho or whatever, body, macho body. And have a long life. Mother Joshoda is thinking, oh my Lord, what about my son? Can my son get a bite of her cooking every day? She's like thinking, she's becoming more affectionate to Kirtida. Wow, what a blessing from Durvasa. So what are you going to do with your daughter? Well, she's cooking here. Well, that's very nice. But you know, my son, we love him. And I know you love him too. How do we make sure that he has a long life and he will have a healthy body? So the conversation went very hot topics. And Radhani from little far, she's listening. She's feeling happy. Okay, I'm going to see if I allow to cook for him every day, then I'll be having access to see him every day. It's just a jubilation in her heart, but she cannot express this. And now this discussion going on. All of a sudden, Nanda Baba comes. Time for lunch. Vishwanu Maharaj just declare, why are we going to sit down? All the men are sitting in one arrangement. This is Vedic culture. And the ladies on the other side, they don't mix. And the special service, because it's our birthday party, not like American birthday party, everybody brings her the gift. But in Vedic culture, birthday party, the birthday girl serves everybody. Birthday boy serves everybody. It's such a sweet. So Radharani alone started serving. Now Madhumangal came. Madhumangal took few bites. Madhumangal is the one that who puts two laddu in two sides of the cheek. He's a little chubby boy, you know. One time even Krishna, I give a little glimpse like how close he is with Krishna with eating. Krishna told one time when Brahmaji's Bimahan Lila, it's a very funny Lila, that Brahmaji is thinking, how is this possible that he can be my father? He's examining whether his ultimate father is this little boy, Krishna, or not. Maybe demigod did mistake. I have to examine. One of the examine was this. So Krishna told Madhumangal, my mother did not give enough buttermilk today. Give me some buttermilk from your cup. Said, no, I'm a Brahman boy. You are a Vaishya. I never share like this. Come on, keep the distance, social distancing. You know? Not like social distancing. Krishna said, no, I want buttermilk from your pot. Said, no, I'm not going to share. I'm a Brahman boy. I'm Madhumangal. You know, I'm a Brahman. You're Vaishya. And Lord is, you know, Brahmaji is listening. How can, if it is my father, how can they speak like this? This is not possible. Doubt already arising. So Madhumangal by force took the whole buttermilk and put it there, and his cheek is like this, you know. The whole face is like his, because you cannot swallow. You have to like put it in the mouth. So his mouth is like a cheek is like a million times bigger than Gopal Radhe Prabhu's cheek. You know, Gopal Radhe Prabhu has a beautiful face. So Madhumangal is like imagine million times heavier cheek than this. And Krishna went like this and put all the buttermilk from Madhumangal's mouth to Krishna's mouth. And Brahmaji said, this is impossible. He cannot be God. He's eating from the mouth. This is not God. Anyway, back to this. So Madhumangal is like this. When he eats like this. He just putting it in the mouth. And he started crying. Krishna said, are you okay? He said, no, I'm not okay. He said, okay, you can either eat or talk. You cannot do both with the mouth because you are like, your mouth is completely, cheek is full. So he said, why you are crying? He said, because I'm very depressed. You're depressed, but you're eating. He said, because I'm happy also. Well, how can you be depressed and happy? He said, because I never tasted like this in my entire life. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I want to put all this thing in my mouth, but it's not going inside the stomach easily. So I'm just filling up in the mouth. He said, but can you just stop, either talk or eat? You cannot do both, but he's still talking. Then why you are sad? Just tell us. Because I never had a taste like this. And from tomorrow, I'll never get any more like this. I'm so depressed now because this is such a delicious food. I never had like this. How can I have from tomorrow? I'll have no more like this. So I'm depressed and happy. Then Balaram is looking at this conversation and Nanda Maharaj is hearing this conversation. All the boys are hearing and they're cracking up. They all agree. He said, we all agree. This is the best, delicious. We never had it such a taste. Mother Yashoda heard it from far. When Krishna opened his mouth, Krishna says, this is so true. Radharani felt so shy, she immediately. Then Madhumangal says, who is the cook? We need to know who is the cook. How can somebody be so glorious cook that taste is so good, unparalleled? We want to have a little darshan of that cook. They didn't know yet, only mothers knew. So immediately Kirtida Sundari, of course, Radharani heard it, and she doesn't want to come. She's running into another room and hidingly. And they went there, said, Radhe, say, yes, mother, you have to listen to me. You have to come out and serve. And I have to introduce you. Mother, yes, you need to come out. So she's so loyal, even though she's shy, but she comes out. So she came out. When she came out, then Kirtida Sundari says, this is my daughter, Radhika. She's the head cook, chef. She made all the prep. And Madhumangal started looking and crying. He says, oh my God, you must be from Vaikuntha. You must be from spiritual world. It is not possible human being can cook. He's really stating a fact that it is not possible unless she is the goddess of Vaikuntha. And she is. Krishna glorified. Then Radharani is so shy. In that conversation, the wonderful take place that everybody was completely mesmerized by Radharani's cooking. It was such a cook. And what happened to Krishna? He got lost. He got lost of thinking Radharani, her quality, her beauty, he's like a mesmerized. He's like a shocked. Like how can be so beautiful a person exist? Yogamaya covers that this is his own internal potency, his dual form. But Radharani's beauty, Radharani's quality, Radharani's cooking was completely made him drown. He became like a quiet. He wants to know more about her. But in Vedic culture, you don't just go and mix mess. In America, you do, boys and girls, they talk like Gorachand does. But I'm not saying bad thing, don't worry. But in Vedic culture, you have a wall. The ladies on the ladies' side with the girls and the boys on the boys' side. So like this. So then Krishna started thinking, he is so absorbed. He said, how is possible somebody so? So then on the way back, Yashoda Maya revealed, Krishna, you will be the best, strongest, and long life person in Vrindavan. Talking to the eternal personality. He said, you will live a long life because I made the arrangement with Vishwavanu, Maharaja's daughter, that every day her cooking, you will be getting her cooking every day, and you will honor, and she will come to cook in our own house. Inside, Krishna felt like to jump in a joyful, like a dancing, happy, joyful party. But he's scared what people will be thinking. So he said, whatever you want, mom. he doesn't express that, yes, I'm so happy. I cannot believe that this is actually happening. But he said, whatever you want, mom, I agree, whatever you want. Oh, time. So we can just assume that some or other, if we can train our mind every day in our house, in our temple, we offer Radharani, isn't? And Radharani cooks in our kitchen. Why we don't feel that connection? We have to consciously pray to Radharani, to give that mercy so we can be directly connected with them. This is the ultimate quality of spirituality. This is the quality of Vrindavan. All of the great majestic opulence of Vaikuntha cannot even compare to a drop in the ocean of spiritual qualities of Radharani or Vrindavan, where everyone is very simple. In Vrishabhanu Maharaja's place, Nanda Maharaja's place, everyone is very humble. Nobody gets any credit. Radharani never wants any credit, even though she is the best and highest of all. Everyone simply wants to be enjoyed by Krishna. This is the key point Radharani made in her entire life existence. That everybody, including herself, she always feels to be enjoyed by Krishna to his heart. So as I mentioned before, we should always put ourselves into the dedication mood, not enjoying mood. Then we can perceive and be eternally joyful in that loving service of divine couple, Radha and Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this, and Srila Prabhupada gave us also assurance. If we keep on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, with full heart, by the mercy of Guru Krishna, we can also become the maid servant of Srimati Radharani, or maid servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Srimati Radharani, and please Krishna in this way. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Any reflection, question, comment?
Prabhuji, you said you're going to narrate a story in observance of Radhastami. Is this the story, or is there something?
Oh, thank you. Do we have time? 5 minutes. I'll try to squeeze that story, sure.
Okay, thank you.
This is a recent story. This is the most phenomenal. One of the temple were observing very joyfully a beautiful festival. So many Matajis, so many Prabhus came and decorated the temple. This is about few years back, not in pandemic year. Then nearby village, there was a prostitution, very well-known prostitution. Big truck driver, they would pass by, through that village or something for the prostitution. And one of the prostitute, she was the head. One day she had a big argument with her client, and she felt regret to herself. What am I doing years after years? Maybe there is some better life. So she thought of just looking around the village. So he happened to come to this temple, saw that something going on there. And everybody is joyful, happy, making garland, making a beautiful pot with the water and banana leaf, coconut, putting the banana trunk, and everybody singing, dancing. So she came there. And nobody knew she is a prostitute. She's just a regular Mataji. So then as soon as she came, the Hare Krishna people, they are the best devotee to engage anybody anywhere in Krishna consciousness. They say, oh, you are here to visit here, come and help us make the garland. So she also sat down there. She didn't even say who she is. They didn't even ask, they just engaged, because that's the mentality of Radharani's festival day. So she made a garland and she put the bouquet flower, and she became like a completely merged, and she's listening their conversation. Who is Radharani? What are the quality of Radharani? How those 25 quality Radharani has so beautifully. And then she was listening one by one. As she was listening, it was like going through her in a state of consciousness where she started repenting and regretting her previous life to this moment. He said, if this kind of world exists, such a joyful, and this is the ultimate goal for all the living being, why am I wasting my life? she started crying all of a sudden. Radharani is so merciful on her birthday. She started all of a sudden like a pouring tears. And other says, you are okay? He said, yes, my life is horrible. I'm not thinking of this Radharani. I said, don't worry, Radharani is merciful. She will forgive you. Don't worry about anything what you did. Just chant Jai Radhe and chant Hare Krishna. And then she started chanting Hare Krishna. Then noontime big arati happened and kirtan happened. And there she's joined there. And she kind of forgot where she's from. Then she took prasadam. After prasadam, they started talking to her. And there was some kirtaniya few group. And they started kirtan and she started singing with them in presence of all the devotees. She left her body. So Radhanath Maharaj mentioned that this is the glorious death. What more can you ask? Radharani is so merciful because she regretted she doesn't have any meaning of life to exist without this Radha service. Radharani took her. I'm not saying that we have to die. That's not my point. That we can transform our consciousness to that consciousness that we want to serve under our Guru mercy to Radharani. Then within this body, we can serve. Prabhupada says in 3.2.6 in Bhagavatam, in the purport Prabhupada writes, one can be in this world while serving in the spiritual world. I'm fascinated by that. So we can be serving Radha Krishna, just like Narottam Das Thakur did while he was present. Srinivas Acharya also did. Ramchandra Kaviraj also did. These are many examples that while they were giving pravachan in this world, they also served Mahaprabhu there. It was very mystically Mahaprabhu gave a garland in front of everybody. They saw this champaka flower garland just drop on the Narottam Das Thakur's neck. So like this, many examples are there. So why not we beg seriously, pray? There is a beautiful verse is given that what should we do wherever we are. It says, Jatha jatha gaura padara binde binde ta bhakti krita punvarasi tatha tatha sarapati ridhi akasmat Radha Padambuja Sudhamburasi. If we can some or other just chant Hare Krishna under Mahaprabhu's guidance, we will find Radharani's lotus feet in our heart. Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur gives this secret. If we can just chant under Mahaprabhu's parampara, this parampara that we are following, chant loudly Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We will feel Srimati Radharani's lotus feet in our heart. What does that mean? Two things. You remember, we'll end with this. What can I do now, today, that will please bring pleasure to Krishna? If we can think, then we are with Radharani's mood to serve Krishna. Gaur Pramanande. Thank you, Prabhu, for reminding. I forgot about it. Any other reflection or anything? Any question on the Facebook? No. Then we'll close here. Please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpa tarubhasya kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Radharani ki jai, Krishna Chandra Bhagavan